Finally got stuck so many times to get this chemo at this round, and then one more in the morning, and then heading home finally. Made it back home. I have like a billion medications to take. Swap this around. And one thing, sorry, I'm a little shaky. Let me just set this down so I don't be so shaky. One thing with chemo is it doesn't totally make your hair stop growing. So as you can see, it's like real fuzzy. It makes me look like super old. It's really weird. It's on my face too. I'm like, this is what like guys with patchy facial hair feel like when they try and grow beards. Because I'm not used to that. Usually I have to shave every day if I want to keep like a really smooth face, but this is really weird. So that's one thing with chemo is like your hair doesn't totally stop growing, but it just grows in like fuzzy patches. Much better. Also, I had this surgery, right? Because there's like gunk in my throat when I was in the hospital the first time. And now all of this is super numb. So shaving is really weird. Just random FYI. Like totally numb from here. Like this square. Can't feel anything on the skin. Another thing when I was able to come home, I had two options for Neulasta, which is like a shot you have to get in order to help your white blood cells recover, which will in turn help your immune system. Mine haven't totally tanked out yet, because after chemo, your levels all tank and you have to get blood transfusions and platelets sometimes, it depends, or I do anyway. But there were two options for the Neulasta. One was go to a local oncologist, like Monday, so tomorrow. Or I could get this thing, which is like an on-pro something, an on-body injector. And you keep it on for like 28 hours. It just injects like a needle into you at first, and then it just puts the medication in at like the 27-hour mark. And it is super inconvenient when you have kids who are in bed and kicking you and doing all sorts of stuff. But hopefully that goes well so I don't have to do another one or do something else, but I'm ready to get that stupid thing off. Finally got this stupid thing out. It's empty. Thank goodness. So another thing with chemo is it dries your skin out like crazy. I don't know if you can see, it's not focusing very well. There we go. So that's kind of annoying. What's going on, guys? I know this has been like a lot of video of me just rambling, but I wanted to get to kind of what the chemotherapy itself looked like for myself. Having acute myeloid leukemia, I'm going to, I think, go further into detail of like what the first week and the diagnosis was like in a different video. But basically, I went in and got something called 7+3, which is 7 days of a certain type of chemotherapy. And I'm really bad with names, so don't ask me what kind each one was because I don't remember. And then 3 days of a different one. And what happens is the chemo brings all of your blood counts like really low. So I had to basically recover in the hospital until my levels were high enough to come home. So I wasn't in like any danger because they had to do blood transfusions and platelets and all that kind of stuff for about 3 weeks. So the first stint, I was in the hospital, I think 22 or 23 days of them monitoring me. And there's a stint there where I was getting like 4 bags of platelets a day. It was crazy. And then I came home for like a week and a half, and then they went ahead and did the next round. So we had to go back to Gainesville to Shands. That's the hospital that I've been going to, which is about a 4-hour drive, so it's not very close. So I wish it was closer, but it is what it is. And then got the next round. And the next round, what they do, as I showed at the very beginning of the video, it was like I would get it at night in the morning and then take a day off, and then the following day, night, morning. So it was, I showed up on Monday, but first I had to get a COVID test, which I think I'll throw that video on the very end, which was my 6th COVID test. So that sucked. But I had to do that Sunday, stay the night in a hotel, and then went ahead with treatment. Got the first dose Monday night, and then Tuesday morning, and then Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then Friday night and Saturday morning. And each time I had to get a new IV. So a lot of people ask, like, don't you have a PICC or a central line? I don't have a central line, which is where they put like a port right here to just give you blood, or, you know, take blood or whatever they need to do. I don't have that yet. I think they're going to do that with a bone marrow transplant, which should be our next step. But I did have a PICC line, as you can see a scar there on my arm. It had like 4 ports. They could pull blood and give me IVs and all that kind of stuff, give me the chemo treatment. But they took that out before I left the last time. So this last round of chemo was given through just regular IVs. I'll show my arm here. As you can see, maybe there's just like marks all over. I've been stuck so many times. There's a lot of scars now. Basically, I would get stuck with an IV, and it'd be good, like, say, Monday and Tuesday, but then by the time Wednesday night came, they had, like, kind of clotted up, so they'd have to pull that one out and give me another one. So I was stuck, like, I think with 8 different IVs, because one time they couldn't find a good spot to stick me, which, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I have pretty good veins, but it is what it is. So that's basically what my chemotherapy treatment looks like. They said I might go back in 3 weeks to get the next dose, but I actually also just found out that my brother is 100% match. So now that we know that, we might go ahead and do a bone marrow transplant next. Of which I believe the first week before I get it, I'll get another round of chemo. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll keep you posted. And I hope anyone going through this or has a family member who's going through this will reach out. And I just want to kind of help anyone going through this right now, because it's not very fun. And especially with all the COVID stuff going on, it's making everything so much harder and inconvenient, because people can't come and see me, and I can't see people as much because I'm a high-risk patient. So anyway, I hope this wasn't too much rambling. I know it was a lot of me talking, but we'll dive more into how everything came to be and at a different time. But thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I'm going to try and put more of these out here through this whole process, and come back and get back into fitness shape. But until then, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.
Okay. Let you know about that. This is for you for afterwards. So that's just a tissue, plain tissue. It goes up through your nose, and as I keep advancing, it will get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm
This will be,
back
I think,
there.
the 6th
Oh,
time
you've
I've
already.
done this
Okay.
stuff.
There you go. So we'll get this over with. If you turn towards me,
Yeah.
put your chin up, and so I can see back there. And then we'll start. All right, you ready? And just breathe out your mouth. That helps. Just breathe out your mouth. Still going. Almost done. You're doing good. That's